Thank you so much for inviting me, and actually I'm grateful that I am this kind of audience where I can address to everyone, you know, politician, council, and I'm Italian obviously, and I've not been raised with British politeness, so I will be very straight. 12 years ago, I mean, I'm a trained architect, but as well I'm always working lighting, and 12 years ago, after, you know, going from office to office, I decided that lighting was not just something to make a space more beautiful, but was actually a really powerful tool to engage communities, to speak about lighting, and to address inequality. And lighting is a massive marker for inequality in public space. And I think we realize that today, not just for women and girls, but I mean for everyone. We are an office now, we are a small office, but we are the only one working exclusively in outdoor spaces, and particularly in areas that, I mean, no one really, no other lighting designer wants to tackle or to design for, because they are the one where there's no money normally. And speaking about lighting and night and safety, I mean, like the first thing we always say is like night is not one thing. And that's why we call it after dark, because, I mean, like particularly in winter, particularly in UK, we know that, you know, after dark condition, it can be after 3 p.m. So it means, I mean, our children are still in the parks, and, you know, they are coming out from school, and there's a lot of hours that we can spend outside that we normally don't spend outside, because the playground are normally not lit and the parks are not lit. And there's like a lot of activities that can happen. So also when, you know, like I think when we interview people, and I will explain why we also interview people, we always try to frame the exact time of the conversation and what happened at that precise time. We combine our like professional side or more practical side, let's say, with a lot of social research, because we are also part of a research group at London School of Economics called Configuring Light. So we kind of frame social research into lighting design, and that's why I think we organize a lot of events about lighting, and now we can talk about lighting. And in a sense, I mean, not to sound patronizing here, but how we can establish a dialogue with the residents or the communities or the different teenagers, for example, speaking about lighting, because lighting is also very technical, as someone said. So it's important that at the very beginning of a conversation, we kind of start explaining the basic parameters of lighting, so that then we have a common vocabulary, shared vocabulary with the residents and the communities. So we do a lot of night walks that are, I think, really important. Means that we bring people around, we understand with them which are the issues, which is the location, the social context, and as well we do a lot of workshops. So we show difference. We show, you know, like with little fixture, I mean battery charge fixture, we show what lighting can actually, how lighting can change the space. And I mean, like, also it's important to understand, I mean, a lot of talk about safety, what safety means, and how it's related to darkness. Because a lot of time in our conversation, and that's why we do a lot of cross-information with, for example, with police officers and crime records, is because a lot of time we discover that people are remembering the event happened at night or when it was dark, and it was actually not dark. I mean, like the case of we work on Brandon Estate is incredible, because everyone we spoke to said that was very dark. In reality, it was not dark because it was summer and it was 8:30 p.m. It was evening, but it was not dark. So we always need to be really sure, you know, about the time frame and the season that we are talking about. And these are some comments and some news coming from newspaper on parks that we work. And now we have worked on extensively on a lot of parks that are difficult, I would say. There are like Watling Park in Burnock is one of the most complex, I would say. There's St. Raphael Estate in Brent, and as well Brandon Estate, because they're not properly parks, but they're like green areas in between blocks, and they're massive green areas, so we can, I think, address, or the issues are very similar. So which are the main issues that are quite common And the solution, though, is not always the same, so it's difficult. I'm trying to be really short, but we have time to discuss. Technically speaking, there is a problem of extreme glare coming from light source. So when we have and that's normal in every park, we have 3 massive lighting to light up everything. And this is, of course, it creates extreme contrast and disuniformity in the space. Missing wayfinding and vertical plane is also important. We're always speaking about horizontal levels. The lighting standards, sadly, are just speaking about horizontal levels. So, I mean, you can design by the lighting standard, but still not be up to something that is good for the situation. Means that vertical planes means that, for example, we can light up a tree, but no, we can't light up a tree because, I mean, ecologically wise, it's not good. We can put the lighting under a bench. No, we can't do that because people will vandalize it. Or we can maybe light flowers. No, we can't light flowers because bees don't like that. So there's a lot of constraints. Facial recognition is really important. That is something that in reality it exists in the lighting standards, but no one knows about it. It's called semi-cylindrical illumination, and it's telling you exactly the lighting, the quantity of light that you have at this height, I mean, probably at this height. Extreme darkness on main corridors where people are going through. I mean, this is Silstream Park in Burn Oak. And it's a bridge, and it's a beautiful bridge. It's really well designed by day. It's been featured everywhere. I mean, people are really proud of it. And by dark, it's completely dark, and it's unbelievable. The other main problem is the extreme darkness at the edges. And this is I have to say, I need to went straight to the council people. We can't design safer park with 3 lighting fixture that you approved probably 10 years ago in a PFI contract that no one know about anything about, and now we're obliged to stick to those 3 fixtures, and there's really no way to go around it. I can't believe that. You know, I mean, we need a solution for that. And then lack of uniformity. This is Brandon Estate, and this is really funny because this little alien, that I call it alien because it's really an alien with 3 eyes, is actually the most ugly and awful way of treating lighting that I've seen in my entire life. But I tell you the story after because this is quite amazing. But of course, it's not just lighting. I mean, we have a lot of problems about access and entrances. Walking Park in Barnet is the funniest story. A lot of raping, I have to say, brutal raping in the park. The decision of the council is to switch off the lighting. I did exactly the same, sorry, what? You switch off the lighting. Yes, and now it's so old that we cannot switch on back, and we don't have the money to put the lighting back in. Great solution. And I say, sorry, but if you, just understand the logic behind it, but if you switch off the lighting, then what is happening? Oh, the people will not go there. Yeah, I mean, good people are not going there, but the other, oh, wow, they have a party inside. Oh, no, we lock the gate. The gate is 1 meter tall, 1.5 meter tall. I can even climb it, and I'm really not fit. So what happened is that we did a lot of engagement with the Unitas group that are amazing. They're working in Barnet. They have this amazing youth association, youth club. What is happening that all the teenagers are climbing the gate because it's the faster route home. And so everyone, teenage, they're at 4 o'clock, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., they cross that park that is actually pitch dark. And raping is going on easily, even better than before. Escape routes, Langdon Park and Tower Hamlet is incredible. I mean, speaking about layout, there's just one point where everyone is going and there's no exit. There's really no exit, so you're trapped inside, and that's the darkest corner by night. Maintenance. Can we ask people to work 1 hour later, or maybe to go to work at 10 a.m., but to stay at work till 5 p.m. so they can see that the lighting is not working in the park, because no one can see when lighting is not working in the park, because maintenance guys are not working when it's dark. Okay, so that's a massive issue. It's probably quite simple to resolve. balance with ecology. Okay, that's it will require like probably other 5 hours of talking, but balance with ecology is okay. Of course we need it. We need a balance and we need a compromise. I understand that. At the same time, I cannot have answer like I got from a lady, so even like gender equal, let's say, saying I don't care about people, I care about bats. And she's a council officer working for park safety. I was like, okay, fine. I mean, like, but what we did, for example, in Islington, in Barnsbury, is actually we brought a council officer that didn't want anything, any lighting. I just brought her there. In this is a path going through. This is a path going through. And I said, okay, now it's dark. Now you walk there and you come back. And she stopped and it's like, well, no, I'm not going there. I'm like, oh, really? Why you're not going there? It's way too dark and it's scary. Absolutely right. Can we add some little lighting there? Yes, okay, fine. And of course, landscape as impeding natural surveillance is a big deal. I mean, Brandon, Southwark always, I mean, we work with the council a lot also about landscape. And emotional reaction is what I call emotional reaction is when there's like a reaction to a crime and is an immediate reaction and it's like, oh, we need to add one lighting there, or, you know, like we switch off the lighting, or, you know, like it's just wrong. I mean, we need planning, we need to understand the social context, we need to understand what happened, and we need to understand who is using the space, and then we can react and redesign the space. But it, again, is not a copy and paste solution, of course, because like it depends on the context, I mean, immensely from the social context, as well from the urban context, if we're acting in a place where we have like a background, if we have like a housing. There's a Shadwell estate that we redid and people are using, I mean, everyone from Shadwell is going to this place because it's better looking. But we have to push boundaries here incredibly. And I mean, this looks, for example, awful, I think it's quite awful, but then if you look at the context on the backyards, I mean, people value their space and they care about what they're looking at and they care about their housing. So altogether it's becoming, you know, like a kind of nice piece of public space where people can probably feel quite safe. So in conclusion, I mean, there's no a simple copy and paste solution. Emotional reaction to antisocial behavior and violence and crime is never the correct answer. We definitely need a better analysis after dark. No one is doing analysis after dark of the public space. It's really rare to find architects that are involved in. Normally they publish this fantastic daylight picture. They don't have a clue about after dark, I tell you. I mean, I'm an architect, but architects, they don't have a clue. So like, I'm bashing the architect too. We need good planning and design, and we need to understand the social context, and that's why we always do, I mean, social research, interview, observation, analysis. And improving the atmosphere by dark can also mean to activate the space. Like what happened in Brandon is that the people now use this square that you see in the background because there's like a simple solution, and it's a very simple solution, but it was useful to reactivate the space and to bring people back into the space and to feel the ownership of that space. It's the end.